Remember when common sense was common? When standing up for what is right was the right thing to do? Welcome to The Right Side. Common sense conversations about Hawaii's political landscape and how it affects you, your ohana, and your community. Join us for the next hour as we cut through the political noise and look at Hawaii from the right side, where public officials and community leaders discuss the policies that affect our future, strategies that move the needle, and highlight leaders that are stepping up to make a difference. Get ready for The Right Side, a common sense conversation.
All right, happy Aloha Wednesday. We are live at 808-913-6450. I'm Augie, that's Malia.
Aloha.
And welcome to The Right Side, a common sense conversation. All right, so we're going to dive into some illegal game room action.
We've been wanting to talk about this for a while.
Yeah.
Since we've had on HPD, like much earlier this year, they suggested this as a topic because it's such a hot topic right now. It's been a hot topic at the city council.
Absolutely.
You passed 3 bills related to that the mayor signed. So
yeah,
you've been working on it too.
A lot of great conversation today. And if you want to join in, it's 808-913-6450. How are you feeling today?
You know, I feel great.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to say it?
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to say it?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I paddled in the Navahine Kai.
Okay.
42 miles across the channel, but I didn't do all 42 miles. So that's the good news. I did half or whatever. You know what? You jump in every half hour.
Sure.
So, took us 7 hours.
The most miles you paddled.
Maybe 25.
Still, 25 miles.
And it took us 7 hours and 18 minutes because we're 50s. But guess what?
Yeah.
We have fortitude, and we were awesome. We were all together. We had a great team. It's good for the mind. It's good for the spirit.
Absolutely.
And good for the mental strength.
Good. Congratulations, Malia.
Thank you.
27 miles.
I know. I wish I had like really big arms or I look really strong or something. Everybody's like, you did that. But I'm like, yeah.
Miles,
you
man.
know, just training. I tell you, a lot of it's mental.
No. As a former athlete, I understand that.
The boxing.
Know? Yes. It's a different kind of level when you have to, compete at that level or like even like getting your mind prepared to, paddle a canoe for 7 hours.
Yeah. And, we had 75 crews. I got to give kudos to the women in this town and other islands and also other countries. People come from everywhere, Tahiti, Japan. They all get in there and they go for it and they go battle whatever's in the channel. And sometimes you hear things like, you can't do it. You'll never make it. And it's just like beating it back and going, of course we're going to make it.
Go. And you've done it, several times.
Right.
See, that's the crazy part. Think about that. Like, after one time, it's like, I did that. I know, let's go do it. Second, third, fourth.
That's wild.
It's a little addicting, I admit it.
Yeah, well, congratulations, Malia.
Thank you.
All right, so if you guys miss, or maybe you catch, maybe you got to leave sometime, doing the radio show, the whole program is up on YouTube. And you can watch the whole thing on YouTube, so don't fret. Everything's all good. So, today we're diving into Operation Follow Through, a groundbreaking initiative by the Honolulu Police Department, which aims to shut down illegal game rooms permanently. This program holds property owners accountable for criminal activity on their property. Since 2023, the operation has had 100% success rate when it comes to closures. With collaboration from various agencies, the operation will expand from District 5 to include all districts island-wide. Malia, can you please introduce our guests?
Sure. Acting Sergeant Alexander Watson, who we're calling Alika, today is a part of the Honolulu Police Department's District 5 Crime Reduction Unit. And he leads the Operation Follow Through, a multi-agency strategic enforcement initiative that addresses sources of major community complaints and crime. OTF was developed by the District 5 Crime Reduction Unit, I believe by you, right? Huh? In part to help close the game rooms on the island of Oahu. Among Acting Sergeant Watson's most notable accomplishments, and I'm sure there are many, and this is all I could find online, he received a Certificate of Merit for Actions following a robbery in November 2015. And I'm sure there's been many other things.
Yeah, and your dad is very proud of you, man. Your dad, has come out to several of our walks, and he only has good things to say about you. So I'm not only interested in hearing what you're saying, but like, no, it's I feel like I already know you from your dad.
Yeah, your dad is
like,
great.
yeah, he's like, you got to talk to my son. I eventually will, and just so happen, everything comes together for a reason.
Here we are.
So the Honolulu Police Department's Crime Reduction Unit. Tell us what that is all about.
All right. So the Crime Reduction Unit, people call it CRU or crew. There's crews in every district, all 8 patrol districts, and we're a plainclothes unit that supports uniform patrol. We do everything. We respond to hot calls, active calls. We try to be there to support patrol, back up patrol for the dangerous stuff, and then we work any type of crime, series investigation, narcotics, prostitution, gambling, firearms, everything. And so being picked into crew, you got to get hand pulled into crew.
Okay.
You can't put in for it. But being into crew, you're not tied to the radio, and we work in a covert and overt capacity.
Yeah.
It gave me the opportunity to do so many different things and kind of explore stuff that's outside of the box. And we also did game room enforcement.
Yeah.
Search warrants, gambling investigations, raiding game rooms, and doing that for years led to me kind of trying to figure out, okay, how can we change this so we're not getting the same result again?
Yeah.
And that's what eventually developed into Operation Follow Through.
Nice. I'm interested only because, I did not know you have to be handpicked to be part of this unit. I mean, one, it's so much different from, the normal patrol officer, yeah? And what are some of the challenges?
So we're self-initiated. But at the same time, like, we'll do the work from the initial traffic stop all the way to the conferral with the prosecutors, executing search warrants, undercover operations, being case agent for major operations. So we do everything. We do detective work too, but at the same time, if I'm typing a detective conferral and I'll be running like 48 hours straight, if we get a shots fired call, everything's on hold. I'm running out of the office, diving into a car with my partner, and we're going to a shooting. So I've had complainants calling me for cases that I'm actively working. I'm like, hey, can I call you back? We're at a barricade. Or at a this and that. And then we're the in-between between patrol and SSD, SWAT.
Wow. Yeah. See, they do a lot. And that's why, like, whenever I see those guys out, sometimes when I'm driving through my community, I see you guys, and man, I have a lot of respect.
Oh, no, I was going to say, I'm glad you're not my son. I would just be worried about you all the time. I mean, there's nothing important. But I guess if I can ask a question, it would be, what other agencies are involved in the HPD Operation Follow Through? Is it just you, or is it other agencies as well?
No, and I mean, and that's why the name of the Operation Follow Through, and because I've said it so many times, I shorten it OFT.
Yeah.
The name of the operation is so important because it's so many more people involved. I came up with the concept and with the idea, but without these other agencies coming through and being super supportive and helpful and teaching me and working through this new thing that no one's ever done, this wouldn't happen. But the main agencies that you see the most are the Department of Planning and Permitting,
okay,
and the Fire Department. And the Department of Planning and Permitting, those guys, I reached out to them and met and figured out what's a notice of violation. Are these actually violations? Like, conferring with them, working with them for a long time, and they've come to my raids and been there, and kind of we all learned and figured this thing out together. And the director of the DPP, Dawn Takachiopuna, she is amazing and super supportive. And without them being shoulder to shoulder with HPD, this wouldn't have happened.
Well, shout out to Don, because DPP sometimes in the public always get criticized for everything, and to know that they're working hand in hand with HPD and trying to solve some of the problems that's really affecting a lot of people in our neighborhoods. People don't realize, the kind of activity that happens in game rooms and this is sometimes in surrounding communities that have no idea. And it's just working class people trying to make ends meet and not knowing that, man, right across the street or right next door is something bad happening. So, yeah, big shout out to, Don. And you said Honolulu Fire Department. How is that?
In code enforcement, kind of breaking down operation follow through. So, yeah, we have the gambling violations, that investigation.
Yeah.
Every time we hit rooms, the game rooms would reopen. Sometimes like a week, 2 weeks later, right back open. The cashier changes, the machines change, security changes, property stays the same. Property owners have stayed the same. Give them their little nuisance abatement warnings and all this stuff, and it didn't change anything. The game rooms kept reopening. So I talked to my Sarge at the time and I said, Sarge, honestly, I don't want to do another game room raid until something changes. Alika,
stay right there. We'll jump more into it. We're talking about illegal game rooms. We have Alika Watson over here. It's the right side. A common sense conversation.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to Common Sense Conversations.
It's the right side of Common Sense Conversation, 808-913-6450 if you want to participate in today's conversation. Now, before we went to break, you were talking about how Honolulu Fire Department gets involved and DPP. So you want to finish that thought?
Yeah. So the buildings stay the same.
Buildings.
And if you walk into a game room and you see all the machines and all the wiring and the security doors that create a corridor where people can't come in and out, and it's just, you look at it and you're like, how did this happen? This is obviously, you need permits for this stuff. And so as I started to dig into it more, you do need permits. Chapter 16 is building, 17 electrical, 18 is permitting, 19 is plumbing, 20 is fire code, and 21 is land use zoning. I only know that because I've had to do this for years now.
Right.
But every game room is inherently in violation
of something. Right.
You're not allowed to have an illegal commercial gambling establishment.
Sure.
And then on top of that, there's a bunch of other ones that they're always in violation.
Right.
Of.
So having the support from DPP and Honolulu Fire Department, either prolong the possible reopening or like shuts it down completely.
Shuts it down.
That's awesome.
And a notice of violation. The cool thing is, if a property owner gets a notice of violation, they need to resolve the violations. If they resolve the violations within the allotted time to do so, and they take proactive steps in applying for the permits, getting that licensed electrician to show that they're fixing all these violations, they don't get a fine.
Correct.
And so at the end of the day, the only people who are taking the hit are organized crime that's making millions of dollars from their game room.
Wow.
But if the property owners want to ignore it, like lots of them did for decades, they start getting hit with daily fines.
It's amazing how, a lot of, you said they're making millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, a lot of the people that I see are just everyday working people. They're just hoping they hit something, and they're just pouring their money in an illegal game room, and a lot of them just making ends meet in hopes to, win something. It's for me, it's like so puzzling that you would allow yourself to, one, go into an establishment knowing that there's a possibility you get busted, but then, dude, you're taking care of yourself or your family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And must be for you. I mean, maybe you're numb to it, but when you go into a room like that, you see all, different types of people that must. And how does that affect you? Knowing that, these guys, some of these guys, they're not, how they getting their money?
Yeah. Yeah. Going into these places, some of the first ones that I hit with Operation Follow Through, I was going to neighborhood board meetings, or I was watching them online and kind of just listening to the community, because I don't think the community understands how much them speaking out, it helps us.
Yeah.
It gives us more justification in doing what we're doing, picking places. So I hit one that was right by a church. So the community had brought up a bunch of times. And one right across the street from Kalihiuka Elementary School.
I'm very aware of the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so just having just seeing the talking to the principal of the school and teachers and kids, and then lots of people, there's this distance or this degree of separation because the game room's not by me. What's wrong with gambling? It's just gambling. Legalize it. All this stuff that they want to talk about that's way above my head. But you live next to a game room and have anybody who knows people who are high, people who are violent, who are we're going to be robbing, all the dangers that come with
sex trafficking, all that stuff,
game
right?
room. Imagine if your kids are sleeping right next door to that.
Right.
It's like and it doesn't bug a lot of people until they're right next to it.
Correct.
Or imagine if you're trying to run your shop, your store, and you've got a game room. We had one guy who was running a legit business for decades. He had a game room right next door to his shop. He had 2 game rooms underneath his shop. We had 3 in the same building.
Gosh.
And this poor guy, we shut him down.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you talk to those people, the people who are actually affected directly by game rooms, and it's like something's got to change.
Again, and the reason why I love doing these shows is because, you're educating me now. And Malia and everybody listening, why it's so important for community to get involved. You know what I mean? Like, if we're really going to change our community, and it comes from, picking up rubbish, graffiti, all these little things. Like, if we allow it to just kind of, stir and let it stay there, it's only going to get bigger because, we're slowly becoming a lawless society that allows it. And thinking, nothing going to ever change. But if you don't say anything and you don't talk, yes, nothing. Definitely going to get nothing to change.
Yeah, it's huge.
So,
like back patrolling, I was KPT midnights before I came to crew. And running around chasing just all kind of, the kids making trouble, breaking into cars, houses and stuff. And these 2 amazing Hawaiian ladies who lived right outside of KPT started a neighborhood watch.
See?
And doing neighborhood walks. And guess what? They grew up there. They know the pastors. They know the teachers and everybody. And now this kid who's making trouble, we can talk to their parents instead of chasing them like a quarter mile through the jungle back in the river behind KPT, all the crazy stuff I had to do. She can call the pastor, who can call the parents, and the kid comes with tears in his eyes. Oh, sorry, uncle. And we're starting to change something. That comes from community.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, in the 5 years of being in office, I think that's been the greatest feeling to know that, there's still people in our community that give. And then find solutions, real solutions, So, and then at the same time, help HPD, help your neighbor. Gosh, you know what I mean? If we want to make Hawaii a better place, we got to do more than just complain. And a lot of times, it's all we hear is complaints. Get involved. Gosh. All right. So what inspired HPD to do Operation Follow Through?
So the reason for making Operation Follow Through, one was restore public trust.
Okay.
You see it all in the news. Oh, the cops are on the take. Why do they keep reopening
Yes.
again and again? The same room. We hit that room 10 times. It's still open. Come on. You can't beat your head against the wall, do the same thing, and expect a different result. Right. You got to pivot. You got to do something. Develop. And then strengthen interagency relationships and capabilities. I didn't know that we could do this until I called DPP. I called their front desk, like public information number 1, and started working my way up until I talked to inspectors. Hey, what do you do? Can we just talk story? Can I figure out what your job is? What is a notice of violation? What are the fines? How does this? And meeting these people and learning from these subject matter experts. Now look at where we are.
Yeah.
Permanently shutting down game rooms.
Yes.
And no one ever talked about DPP and building code violations and game rooms in the same sentence. Mm-hmm. And you hear that starting to come around near mid to end of 2023. We launched Operation Follow Through in March of 2023.
Okay.
First game room raid was May 2023.
Wow.
So you wonder where this talk about building code and DPP.
Sure.
It's from that.
Yeah.
But to talk about Operation Follow Through, I created it to alleviate crews from being responsible for game rooms that keep reopening, to create a tool and a blueprint to pass to NARCO that they can scale island-wide. Because I only work in District 5, Kalihi. Narco Vice unit does game room enforcement everywhere, and they've been making leaps and bounds with the getting pro gambling second turned into a felony. Working with the designated prosecutor, they've been working really hard, and so they let me kind of run this thing on the side. And once we got a kind of well-oiled machine, figured out the mechanics, the blueprints of it, now in 2025, I've been working with Narco to pass it to them, so now they can do it in your city council district. They can do it on the North Shore, and they're getting there. They're pushing for it, and they're working towards getting that done. And I've heard they've been doing that enforcement outside of my district now, that's the goal.
And that's a great reason why you want to become a Honolulu Police Department. You want to join the Honolulu Police Department.
He's always recruiting.
No, I'm honestly, you know why? Because I think there's a lot of good-hearted people that, want to serve the community, and we need the help because, you can ask anybody in their districts, they'll tell you what you guys want. Number one is always public safety.
Yeah.
Number one is always public safety. At least in the top three, I know in our district is public safety, clean parks, homelessness, maybe parking, but public safety. If we, so I don't want to be the only one encouraging you guys to become police officers. All of you guys who, think public safety is the number one thing, you got to encourage these young kids. You got to encourage your neighbor who's maybe thinking about, man, I might want to try something different because we need all the help we can get. We're going to come back. I'm like, no, where are these machines coming from? All right. We're talking illegal game rooms. It's the right side of common sense conversation. Hope you guys having a beautiful Wednesday.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to common sense conversations.
We're here with Corporal Alika Watson. And we're talking illegal game rooms. The number here is 808-913-6450. And if you maybe caught the tail end, we have like maybe 2 more breaks left in this radio show. You can watch the entire interview on YouTube. Okay, so where are we getting these illegal game machines from? And how is it coming in?
Well, it's not illegal to bring in the software, hardware, the computer chips.
Okay.
That's not illegal.
It's
when you turn it into a machine, this game of chance that then you are a house and you're generating income as the house from the public coming and gambling on your thing. So it's a
software.
Yeah, and you can purchase it like online. You can go on Alibaba and look them up, and you can buy it for like $5,000, and then you got to fab the machine up and build it, with plywood and controllers and whatever else it takes to do the construction. But yeah, so that's how you bring it in, and then you can build them right in the rooms. It's super sneaky. No one sees you moving machines inside.
Right,
you build them inside.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fascinating. How does so we talked about how important it is to team up with DPP, Honolulu Fire Department, and really trying to shut this thing down, right? Yeah. Shut this thing down now. Can you tell us more about what illegal game rooms, really are and pose, how it poses a problem to our community, and why shutting down these illegal game rooms? Important for public safety, because you touched on it a little bit, but this is for people that just coming in right now, because I want to make sure that they understand, it's everybody's problem.
Yeah.
Not just the people next door or the people across the street. It's everybody's problem, right?
Yeah. Well, so the illegal commercial gambling establishment, game room that we're talking about, it is a unmarked building. Maybe there's some cameras outside. Maybe they have a T-shirt shop sign outside we see all the time, or some business front. But it's a secret place where the people inside are doing illegal activity.
Okay.
And so if you are trying to conceal your illegal activity, what better place than a game room where security and cashier are watching the cameras looking for the cops all the time? If you break into someone's car and you want to sell something, hit it up on OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, WhatsApp, your chat threads, put it up for sale, and then meet them at the game room to sell it. You have that concealment. And so that's just one other thing that happens inside games. Obviously, there are secret little boxes hidden from the cops that are full of cash. It's a great place to rob. How many times have we seen robberies?
Yeah.
And
shootings in the last year, right?
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah. Then Dealing dope, same thing. But then one that lots of people don't see is all that money that's being made in the game room. It's got to get washed. It's laundered unless it's going straight out of the state, out of the country, which sometimes it does. But imagine if you or your kid wants to start a business and they want to have a nail salon. They open their nail salon right down the street from a nail salon owned by organized crime. Organized crime is using that nail salon. They don't need to make money. They can undercut all the local businesses that are trying to do their things legitimately in the right way, and it's starving local businesses and the local economy. And that's a big motivator for me.
Yeah, and that's the reason why you don't want to turn a blind eye. If you suspect or you can call anonymously, right? Yeah. There's a hotline. There's a number that you can call anonymously just in case. But it's time for us, not turn a blind eye to a lot of these things because, I mean, at one point you're hearing about it weekly. Like a shutdown or shooting, a fight. And this is in our communities, people. So, we all got to do our part.
Well, what are some of the biggest challenges you've faced? And maybe you can share a success story or two that comes to mind, something that happened that you're like, wow, that really worked, or something exciting about like that. But yeah, maybe starting with the challenge, like, what do you think, did you have to convince people? What was it?
Yeah, I mean, that I think the biggest challenge was for everything else I've done. I mean, I've done new projects and stuff, but to do a new project that no one's done, there's no format. There's no blueprint. You're like making it up as you go. And so it's like, did this work? Maybe change, maybe do something, but you got to like meticulously write everything down, document what you're doing, see what works, what doesn't work, why it doesn't work, because you're building a new thing. Whereas like, I was at FTO, I taught a new rider, I teach new guys in crew, but to learn how to do something and then teach other agencies too, other officers, trying to get them to do this, that was the biggest thing, is just coming up with something that's never really been done before and finding a way to create like a format for it to be repeated and that'll outlive me.
Or maybe even possibly get better. And that's all we need. We need, with great ideas and, simple solutions so we can add on and get better.
Yeah, and then, I don't know, is there like a time where you're like, whoa, that really worked? Or is there anything that special that comes to mind? And
we had a bunch of community complaints about this illegal concert venue. That's actually the first thing that closed with Operation Follow Through.
Waianae? Was that the one in Waianae?
Nope, only in my district is where I operate. Yeah.
Sorry,
but
just checking.
We had complaints that were being sent to other agencies and then bounced back to us from the Liquor Commission, the Fire Department, and then neighborhood boards bringing it up, emails to our command. And so when I first rolled out Operation Follow Through, I had so many different agencies in the Kalihi Police Station. I was nervous. I was like, okay, guys, this is what I'm going to do. This is called Operation Follow Through. If it works how I think it should, it's going to be really successful. If it doesn't, sorry, I'm just going to look really dumb, And so we started code enforcement on this illegal concert venue, and the property owners came down on the leasee, which came down on the sub-leasee. And we had this whole operation plan, this undercover op. I won't give away all the details because we still may use something like that in the future. But the day that we were going to do our operation, the concert venue had already closed because of the code enforcement. Right. And so the concert that we were going to do the operation on was canceled and it got moved to somewhere else. And I was like, oh, this worked way better than I thought it would. And then the first game room we hit, the theory was if this reaches the property owners and takes away the financial incentive, there was 2 game rooms in one building, one above, upstairs and downstairs. Traditionally, we would have to do an undercover operation on both rooms to get a search warrant for both rooms. If Operation Follow Through worked like how I thought it would, we wouldn't need to hit the upstairs room. Just hit the downstairs room, and the property owner, and having to resolve the codes and get rid of the game room down there, they're going to have to get rid of the game room up there.
Everything.
And so that was our first one in May 2023, and it worked exactly like that. We hit it, we rated it, it reopened like a week or two later, working with the inspectors. Once we got all our notices of violations served and everything started to kick in, game room was gone. And better yet, instead of us taking the machines, the bad guys who own those machines had to take the machines. I got to watch them take the machines and start to see, who's picking up these machines? Because I've never seen that guy before. I've never seen this guy before. Oh, where's that U-Haul truck going? We've got a lot.
Wow, that's cool, because that wasn't very smart of them. They should have just said, yep, abandon the machines.
So you guys go in, before you guys go in undercover. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, what is that like? Because we live on an island. And, it's so hard, to remain anonymous, right? So what is that like?
That's in Narcos' wheelhouse. They're the ones that have the undercover.
Just to give you guys the facts, the tools.
Yeah, they have undercover officers. And so they crew does do some undercover work. We do covert and overt operations and work. Only time I was undercover was when we were on manhunts, and I was like in resorts. And I would like put on an ABC shirt and like, oh, hi guys, I'm just visiting from the mainland, that kind of thing. But those UCs, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, it's scary. You're locked in that room, and but that's Narcos' wheelhouse, and this wouldn't happen without them.
No, I get family members that been in it, and thank God recovered, doing better. But they told me some of the horrendous things that happen inside there. It's not just, they're not just, gambling. They're doing other things that just, filthy and not good. And that's why, I'm so happy that we have this conversation, because I want to try to encourage the people listening, right? How you can help the Honolulu Police Department, how you can make our community better. It's just really, honestly, being aware of your surroundings, just knowing. And if you hear about it, you can make that anonymous tip and help, because, we have children, in these communities. We have, kupuna. And like you said, we have businesses that really trying to, survive in this tough economy. So I really appreciate what you guys doing. We talking illegal game rooms. When we come back, man, we're wrapping up already. I got to have you come back, Alika. It's the right side, a common sense conversation. Hope you guys having a great day. 808-913-6450 is the number to call.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to common sense conversations.
We have Corporal Alika Watson from the Honolulu Police Department, and you'll be talking about illegal game rooms. And it's, man, I'm learning so much in this last almost 40 minutes now, and we're wrapping up already.
How can people not want to go work for the Honolulu Police Department? If you have those skills and you're interested in making your community better,
right,
and you got the brains, you got the guts, you got the courage, go for it.
The willingness to want to serve.
Yeah.
Right? The willingness to want to serve, and you guys should think about it. All right.
Okay, but you and me are probably out of the loop there on that one.
No, I was told I can still do it.
Well, we were talking about that. We were talking about that on one of the shows with some other police officers. We're like, how many push-ups does he have to do to get in?
I can do it. I'll probably surprise a lot of people.
I know Academy has changed a lot since I came in, because I make 13 years in January.
Congratulations. Thank you for your service.
Thanks. I always tell the public, thank you for having me, because we're serving the public. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I never know what to say when people tell me that. I'm like, well, you guys have us. If you trust me enough to carry a badge, carry a gun, and tell you got to do something, and then you better do it and listen to me, it's because you trust that I'm trying to do what's best for you, right?
Yes.
And abuse of that trust makes me sad.
Man.
I can't even.
And that's why I really appreciate the police officers in my district. I try my best to be as 110 supportive, and because I think it's so important. Again, the pulse of our neighborhoods is like public safety. They want public safety. It's amazing, how we're not really, pushing harder on our judges, to stop the lawlessness already. It is disgusting. When we first started doing this radio show, I told you I was in Long's Drugs, Ever Beach. I watched a guy just loading like nothing.
Shoplifting,
Yeah.
Yep.
And I chased him down. He noticed that I was chasing him. He threw the bag and all that. That goes back to us, the taxpayer. Yeah.
And the consumer, because we got to pay more.
Yes.
And the insurance.
Yes. Well, the store has the insurance. That's why they say don't.
But then it keeps going up and
Correct.
up and up.
But on the back end. That's why. Look, when you have game rooms in your district that affect small businesses, guess what? Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. And the crime that happens around a game room. So I, hope today you maybe caught the tail end. You can go to our YouTube page, watch the entire video, educate yourself, and know that, the Honolulu Police Department is doing their very best to shut down, illegal game rooms in our community. That's really, really a nuisance to a lot of people. Okay, I know, Malia, you have a question, and because we want to try to wrap this up. I see Leah going like this. She's doing this already.
Well, since Augie is on the city council, he's in charge of the public safety committee, right?
Yep.
And so, what are the questions? And this is also for the state legislators,
Sure.
for the governor, for the mayor. What can the community and elected officials do to help your efforts, and also how have they responded to your efforts?
So I've got to meet with some city council members. Obviously, I started with Radiant Cordero,
Sure.
Tyler Dos Santos Tam, because the districts overlap my District 5. Basically, if you guys see a difference in what we've been doing with game rooms and what's going to happen, moving forward, it's this. Because I wanted, the DPP to, if they need help, whatever they need, HFD, if those guys need help. And I know I think Tyler and Andrea Tupola worked on that bill package,
Yes.
Bill 11, 12, and 13. That was helpful.
And that was the one that put property owners that we've been talking about in the spotlight. Is
Correct.
that the one, or on the hot seat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then giving the landlords, to give police officers more.
Yeah.
They can be more effective in getting into the house faster, easier, using all the tools.
Well, yeah, and so with OFT, I've shut down 37 game rooms.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, since we started it, and some of them were shut down in a matter of 3 days from the time we discover it.
That is awesome.
And that's just motivated property owners, and those ones, no enforcement action needed.
Right. So that's the law that we pass, because it gives the police officers, access.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, the landlord feel intimidated, or, they know they might have, retaliation if they say something. This gives the landowner, the ability to say, hey, I want you go do it, right?
Yeah. And people they're scared of retaliation, but these guys making the money off the game rooms, imagine if they're putting... If they reach out and use coercion or violence or something to further a criminal organization and activity, now we're getting close to RICO. You know what I mean? And so every room that we've shut down, we have not had issues with the game room people coming back and coming after the landlords. They're going to find a new spot. They've been buying residential houses cash, flipping them into game rooms. As soon as we shut it down, address it, they'll tear it down and start trying to build new homes there.
That's crazy. Think about that. They're not waiting, because it's such a lucrative thing, and that's why we have to do whatever we can to say something, and
I liked how you talked about the two ladies from KPT and how they started their own neighborhood watch, and how they took action, and how you've been watching the neighborhood board meetings and how people speak up, and that helps you. And I think that people don't realize they can just do little things. They can speak up. They can form their neighborhood watch like we are doing with our district to make a difference. And that really helps make a ripple effect that helps you.
Yeah. So, we're wrapping up. Any final thoughts?
I just want Operation Follow Through. I want everyone to know that it's not just HPD. It definitely was never about me. I came up with a cool idea, but without the Department of Planning and Permitting, the fire department, and all the other agencies that have helped along the way,
yes,
we're shoulder to shoulder. And these guys are unarmed. These guys come in and help me do this enforcement as just inspectors. What? We're closing game rooms? What is this? And without them and their support, and so whatever they need, help them, because that's what Operation Follow Through is. It's not just HPD. It's all the agencies getting together and doing stuff we've never been able to do before.
Well, I appreciate, Alika, you coming on today. And, man, we might have to do this again soon and have a longer conversation. And, no, I really, really appreciate you. Who do we have next week, Malia?
Well, if you are a Chief of War fan, you will want to stay tuned. because we unfortunately don't have him on, but
What?
we do have somebody that might even be cooler than that,
Yeah.
in my opinion, because being a writer, I like the fact that he wrote the Chief of War. Pa'a. He's
No.
from Laie,
Yeah.
and he had the idea. I love his story because he was a lifeguard and decided to write this and became, a partner in it with Aquaman.
I got like a lot of questions because, growing up, the kind of stuff that we saw about history, nothing than what we see now on Apple TV.
That's
So
right.
it's so cool that we get to talk to him. Again, thank you, Alika from HPD. Malia, we'll see you guys next week. It's the right side of Common Sense Conversation. Spocky later.